My friends, look around. Life is happening, the sun rises, the wind moves, the rivers flow, not in haste, not in panic, but with an effortless grace. Why then do we rush? Why do we live in anxiety, always grasping, always struggling, as if life will slip through our fingers? Everything you need, everything that is meant for you will come, not with desperation, but with clarity. The more you chase, the farther it runs. The more you struggle, the deeper you sink. It is time to understand calmness is not passivity, it is intelligence. Life at its very essence is a continuous flow. From the rivers that carve their path through mountains to the wind that carries the whispers of the earth, nothing in nature is static. Everything moves, shifts and evolves in its own time. The seasons do not rush to change. The sun does not struggle to rise, and a tree does not force itself to grow overnight. This is the intelligence of existence. An effortless unfolding. Yet, as human beings, we often forget this simple truth. We force things to happen on our timeline, we resist the natural order, and in doing so, we create unnecessary suffering for ourselves. If we observe closely, we will see that everything in life follows a rhythm, a cycle of coming and going. The tides rise and fall, the moon waxes and wanes, and even within our own bodies, the breath flows in and out without us having to control it. This is the fundamental nature of existence. Movement, change, and flow. But the moment we try to fight this, the moment we hold on too tightly, we create resistance. Imagine a river. If you allow it to flow, it moves smoothly, carrying everything along. But if you build a dam, the water builds pressure, struggles against the block, and eventually finds another way. Life too finds its own way, no matter how much we try to manipulate it. The struggle arises when we want things to happen on our terms, in our time. We expect instant results, immediate success, and quick solutions to everything. If a flower were to force itself to bloom before its time, it would destroy itself in the process. But when it allows the sun, the soil, and the rain to nourish it, it blossoms effortlessly, without stress or resistance. In the same way, if we trust the natural timing of things and align ourselves with the flow of life, what is meant for us will come without struggle. The problem is not that life is unfair or unkind, it is that we do not have the patience to allow things to unfold. One of the greatest illusions we carry is the idea that we are separate from nature. We assume we are above it, that we can control every outcome. But just as the ocean does not question the waves, just as the sky does not resist the clouds, we too must learn to trust the movement of life. When we become rigid, trying to force things our way, we create stress and anxiety. But the moment we let go and move with the current, life becomes effortless. It is not that we stop putting in effort, but rather that our actions come from a place of ease, not despair. When we understand that life is a flow, we stop resisting it. We begin to see that nothing is permanent, neither joy nor sorrow, neither success nor failure. Just like the waves in the ocean, they rise and fall, come and go. There is no need to panic, no need to rush. The right things will happen at the right time, not because we force them, but because we are in harmony with the movement of life. So, rather than fighting against the current, we must learn to float, to trust, and to move with the rhythm of existence. Anxiety is like a fog that clouds our vision. When the mind is restless, we cannot see clearly, we cannot think clearly, and we cannot make the right decisions. Imagine a lake. When the water is still, you can see your reflection perfectly, but if you throw stones into it, the surface becomes disturbed. This is exactly what anxiety does to our lives. It creates unnecessary ripples in our mind, making us believe things are worse than they actually are. What is meant for us could be right in front of us, but we are too blinded by our worries to recognize it. Have you ever noticed how, when you desperately want something, it seems to run further away? The more anxious you are about a situation, the more difficult it seems to solve. This is because anxiety is a state of resistance. It is the opposite of trust. When you are anxious, you are not in flow with life, you are in conflict with it. Instead of allowing things to unfold naturally, you try to control every outcome. But control is an illusion. No matter how much you plan, life has its own way of revealing itself. The more you force, the more life resists. An anxious mind is like a room filled with noise. There is no space for clarity, no space for intuition. Often, the best decisions, the most creative ideas, and the greatest opportunities come when the mind is calm. Think about it. When do you get your best ideas? It is rarely when you are stressed or overthinking. It is usually in moments of relaxation, perhaps during a walk, in the shower, or in a quiet moment alone. This is because when you are calm, your mind is open and receptive. Anxiety, on the other hand, shuts the doors to insight, keeping you trapped in an endless cycle of worry. Not only does anxiety cloud our thinking, but it also affects our energy. Have you ever walked into a room and immediately felt the tension in the air? That is the power of energy. People can sense when you are anxious, and it affects how they respond to you. When you are desperate for something, a job, a relationship, an opportunity, you unknowingly push it away because anxiety carries a frequency of lack, not abundance. But when you are calm, when you trust that what is meant for you will come, you attract things effortlessly. The truth is, life is always guiding you. It is always bringing you the right experiences, the right people, and the right opportunities at the right time. But if you are consumed by anxiety, you will not be able to see it. Anxiety is like a door that you keep shutting on life, refusing to receive what is already on its way to you. The key is to let go, to relax into the knowing that everything is unfolding exactly as it should. The more you trust, the more life flows in your favor. Effort is a natural part of life. Everything in nature puts in effort. A tree grows toward the sun, a river carves its way through rocks, and a bird learns to fly. But none of these struggle. There is no anxiety, no resistance, only a steady, consistent effort in alignment with the flow of existence. Struggle, on the other hand, is effort, filled with resistance, doubt, and desperation. It is effort misdirected by fear. When we confuse effort with struggle, we make life unnecessarily difficult for ourselves. Think of a swimmer in a river. If they swim with the current, their effort is effective, and they move forward with ease. But if they try to swim against the current, they exhaust themselves and barely make any progress. Life works the same way. When you put in effort in the right direction, aligned with your natural rhythm, things happen smoothly. But when you force things, when you try to control every outcome, you turn effort into struggle, making even the smallest task feel like a battle. Struggle comes from attachment. Attachment to a specific result, a specific timeline, a specific way things should happen. When you are too attached, you cannot see alternative paths. You keep pushing in one direction even when it's not working, simply because you refuse to accept that there might be a better way. True effort is intelligent, it is flexible, it allows for adaptation. But struggle is blind. It keeps repeating the same actions, expecting different results. There is a certain ease in the way successful people approach their work. They put in effort, but they are not desperate. They are committed, but not consumed by anxiety. This is because they understand that results do not come from struggle alone, but from consistent, focused effort combined with patience. Struggle drains your energy, but effort, when done with clarity and balance, energizes you. When you work with passion instead of pressure, even the hardest tasks feel effortless. So, effort is necessary. Everything in life requires it. But struggle, that is optional. You do not have to fight against life to achieve what you want. Instead, put in your effort with a calm and steady mind. Trust that the right things will come at the right time. And let go of the constant need to control everything. When effort flows without struggle, life becomes not just productive, but also joyful. Everything in existence operates on energy. The way you think, feel, and carry yourself sends out a vibration, and life responds to it. Have you noticed that when you are in a good mood, things seem to flow easily? People smile at you, opportunities come unexpectedly, and life feels effortless. But when you are anxious, frustrated, or filled with doubt, everything appears to go wrong. This is not magic, it is simply the way energy works. The world mirrors what you put out. Imagine walking into a room where two people are sitting. One is calm and composed, the other is restless and irritated. Even without speaking to them, you can feel the difference in their energy. Similarly, life picks up on your energy whether you realize it or not. If you are constantly desperate, worried, or doubtful, you unknowingly push away the very things you desire. But if you carry yourself with trust, confidence, and inner peace, you naturally attract positive experiences. Most people try to change their reality by working harder, forcing situations, or manipulating circumstances. But real transformation does not begin outside, it begins within. If your mind is full of negativity, you will find negativity in everything. If your heart is filled with gratitude, you will see beauty in even the smallest things. The way you experience life is not determined by what happens to you, but by the energy you bring to it. Change your energy and your reality will shift accordingly. One of the biggest mistakes people make is believing they must chase happiness, success, or love. But chasing comes from a place of lack. It signals to life that you do not have what you seek. Instead, become the kind of person who naturally attracts these things. If you want love, radiate love. If you want success, carry yourself with the energy of someone who is already fulfilled. When you embody what you seek, life has no choice but to align with you. This is why stillness and inner balance are so powerful. A restless mind attracts more restlessness. A desperate heart invites more struggles. But a person who is calm, trusting, and centered becomes a magnet for the right opportunities, the right people, and the right experiences. You do not have to fight for what is meant for you. Simply become the version of yourself that aligns with it, and it will come naturally. Your mind is one of the most powerful instruments you possess, yet most people live as if they are enslaved by it. Thoughts arise and they follow them without question. Emotions come and they react impulsively. But the truth is, your mind is meant to serve you, not control you. It is a tool, an extraordinary one, but when left unchecked, it becomes a tyrant that dictates your every action, filling your life with unnecessary worry, fear, and suffering. Think of your mind as a knife. In skilled hands, it can create, heal, and bring beauty to the world. But if you do not know how to use it, the same knife can cause harm even to yourself. Your thoughts are like this. When used wisely, they help you plan, solve problems, and create beautiful experiences. But when they run wild, they create chaos, making you feel lost and restless. The problem is not that the mind thinks too much. It is that we identify too deeply with every thought, believing that we are our mind. Have you ever noticed how the mind constantly jumps from one thought to another? It worries about the future, clings to the past, and creates stories that do not even exist. Most of the things you fear never actually happen, yet the mind convinces you they are real. This is because the mind is not designed to keep you happy. It is designed to keep you safe. It always looks for danger, for problems, for things that might go wrong. But if you allow it to rule you, you will live in a constant state of stress and anxiety. The key is to step back and observe your mind, rather than getting lost in it. You are not your thoughts. You are the awareness behind them. When a thought arises, instead of reacting to it, simply watch it. See it as just another cloud passing through the sky of your consciousness. When you create this space between yourself and your mind, you gain the ability to choose which thoughts to engage with and which to let go. This is where true freedom begins. A trained mind is a powerful ally. It allows you to focus, to create, to live with clarity and purpose. But an untrained mind is like an untamed horse. It will run in every direction, taking you with it. Instead of allowing your thoughts to control you, take the reins. Use your mind as the tool it was meant to be. When you master your mind, life stops feeling like a struggle, and instead it becomes something you can shape with wisdom, peace, and intention. Who told you that you are running behind? Behind what? Behind whom? There is no universal timeline, no fixed schedule that life expects you to follow. Yet we rush, we panic, we compare, believing that we must achieve certain things by a certain age or else we have failed. But life does not operate on human deadlines. The sun does not rise a second earlier just because someone is impatient. A flower does not bloom faster because it sees other flowers blooming. Everything happens at its own pace, including you. Society creates timelines: graduate by this age, marry by that age, achieve success by a certain milestone. But these timelines are not real. They are human inventions. If you look at nature, nothing grows at the same rate. Some trees sprout quickly, others take decades to reach their full height. Some rivers carve their path over centuries, while others rush to the ocean in days. Does this mean one is better than the other? No. Each follows its own unique journey. In the same way, your path, your timing is yours alone. The illusion of being late comes from comparison. You see others achieving things before you, and suddenly you feel like you are falling behind. But their journey is not yours. Some people find success early but struggle later. Others bloom late but create something extraordinary. If you spend your time measuring yourself against others, you will always feel behind. But if you focus on your own path, you will realize that you are exactly where you need to be. Life has its own intelligence. Sometimes what seems like a delay is actually preparation. Maybe you are not getting what you want right now because something better is being arranged for you. Maybe you are learning lessons that will make you stronger for what is coming next. When you trust that your life is unfolding in the right way, at the right time, you release unnecessary stress. You stop rushing, stop doubting, and start living fully in the present moment. There is no race. There is only life happening moment by moment. And in this moment, you are not early, you are not late. You are exactly on time. Everything that is meant for you will come, not a moment sooner, not a moment later. Instead of worrying about when things will happen, focus on preparing yourself. Be present, be aware, and trust that life is taking you exactly where you need to go. In a world that celebrates speed, patience is often misunderstood as weakness. We are told to hustle, to chase, to push harder. But real strength is not in rushing, it is in waiting with trust. Patience is not the absence of action, it is the ability to act with clarity, without desperation. It is knowing that everything has its time, and forcing things before they are ready only leads to frustration and failure. Look at nature. Nothing rushes, yet everything is accomplished. A tree does not grow faster because it is impatient. It takes root, gathers nourishment, and stretches towards the sky in its own time. If you dig up a seed to check if it is growing, you destroy it. Life is no different. The things you desire, success, love, wisdom, need time to take root. But when you are restless, when you demand immediate results, you disrupt the natural process. Most mistakes in life come from impatience. We speak before we think, we act before we understand, we quit before we are ready. Impatience makes us settle for less than what we deserve. It makes us grab the first opportunity instead of the right one. It makes us rush into relationships, decisions, and commitments that are not meant for us. But when you are patient, you allow things to unfold naturally. You trust that what is truly yours will not pass you by. Patience is not passive, it is powerful. It is the ability to endure without losing focus, to wait without losing faith. The greatest achievements in life come from those who understand timing. A skilled archer does not release the arrow in a hurry, they wait for the perfect moment. A wise farmer does not harvest too soon, they wait until the crop is ready. In the same way, when you trust life's timing, You act with precision, making choices that lead to lasting success. The most beautiful things take time. Deep love, true wisdom, great mastery, none of these happen overnight. But when you cultivate patience, you gain an unshakable strength. You no longer panic when things don't happen immediately. You no longer feel the need to force or chase. Instead, you stand firm, knowing that what is meant for you is already making its way to you. Patience is not just waiting. It is knowing deep within that everything is coming together exactly as it should. In a restless world, stillness is a forgotten power. We are taught that movement creates success, that constant action leads to results. But the truth is, the most profound things in life come not from running, but from being still. Stillness is not about doing nothing. It is about being deeply present, fully aware, and completely in tune with life's natural rhythm. It is in stillness that clarity arises, wisdom grows, and life reveals its greatest gifts. Imagine a pond. When the water is disturbed, you cannot see clearly, but when it is still, it reflects everything perfectly. Your mind works the same way. When it is constantly agitated by worries, fears, and endless thoughts, you cannot see the truth of any situation. But when you cultivate inner stillness, everything becomes clear. You begin to understand yourself, your purpose, and the direction life is guiding you toward. Many people search outside for answers, but the greatest wisdom is found within, in the quiet spaces of your own being. The most successful, peaceful, and fulfilled people are not those who are always chasing. They are those who know when to pause, when to observe, and when to allow. Stillness creates space, and in that space, life flows effortlessly. Opportunities arise, solutions appear, and what is truly meant for you naturally gravitates toward you. When you are always in a hurry, always restless, you block the very things you are seeking. But when you are still, you become magnetic. Stillness is not just about external silence. It is an inner state. You can be in the busiest city, surrounded by noise, yet completely still within. And you can be in a quiet place, yet restless in your mind. True stillness is the ability to remain unshaken, no matter what happens around you. It is the ability to trust that life is unfolding as it should, without the need to control every outcome. From this space, decisions become effortless, relationships deepen, and success comes with ease. All great things, wisdom, love, creativity, and even success, emerge from stillness. The greatest musicians do not create from noise but from silence. The greatest minds do not find solutions in chaos but in deep reflection. And the greatest lives are not built on endless struggle, but on the ability to pause, to listen, and to allow life to unfold naturally. Be still and you will see. Everything you seek is already on its way to you. Life is not a race, and there is no finish line you must reach before anyone else. Everything that is meant for you will come, not through force, not through struggle, but through alignment with the natural flow of existence.